Hi, guys, and welcome back to Marantz. Rantz, plenty of good information, a little bit of motivation, a whole lot of truth, no financial advice. It's going to be a little bit longer video than normal. Apologize, but I don't go live right now too often. I try, but been busy working, balancing my life, doing the best I can. So we're going to talk about a couple of controversial things. When I talk about them today, I might lose some of you. I might, rub some of you guys the wrong way, and I apologize. I do, but no, I don't. I no apologies. I tell you exactly how I feel and why I feel this way. So first one up that we're going to talk about is going to be Camelot. So, well, Camelot's not on the screen. This is going to be Scott Poland in the gist. So let's just talk about that for a second. Scott Poland on the right-hand side, the gist right here on my left. And as I look at it, so I've talked to these guys before, not the gist, but I've talked to Scott Poland before. He's been on the channel. He's a former moderator on Houston Wade's channel. And, I'm a big supporter of GameStop, period. So if you're going to talk about GameStop, I'm down with you. The only issue I have is, I don't trust anyone with Houston Wade. And Scott Poland and I have had words about how he was pushing for DRS for everyone. And I feel a certain way about that because if we're going to have a conversation about the stock and all this, I'm going to talk about the company. I'm not going to talk about the manipulation on the markets and fair and trade and transparent markets, all that nonsense people want to talk about, because that's not something that you sink your teeth into. That's not something that you actually know what the hell's happening. Who's managing your money and how's it going to happen? How is the transition and the pivot of GameStop actually going to prove the shorts wrong? Well, you have to have fundamentals. There's a guy out there named Keith. Okay, he's in the Discord. I don't know if you guys know him. Keith has been around with the channel for 2.5 years with me. And Keith holds about $250,000 in GameStop. Pretty good position. And he says, Marantz, I don't care about buying another share. I don't want another share. He said, I have plenty of shares. I want to spend money at the company. And he's absolutely correct. Because before we can talk about what's DRS and what's not, and the fundamentals of the markets, let's talk about the company, how we keep the doors open. That's where I come in. I'm all about fundamentals. I'm all about retail and the way you actually pump out a company, not a stock. I'm just different. So when I saw the interview with Scott Poland, it rubbed me a little wrong way because I was like, he didn't talk about the company at all. He didn't talk about transition. He didn't talk about pivot. He didn't talk about fundamentals of what it is. They're going to have an earnings right now go positive, T12. They're going to be eligible for the S&P 500 when the market cap gets higher. He didn't even talk about that portion. He just talked about manipulation. And it's one thing when you're part of that world and you're a finance guy and you want to prove your credibility, you constantly name drop, you constantly say who you're a part of, who you work with, where you work for this. And all it tells me is you're on that side of the table. So no matter if you believe in the manipulation or not, do you believe in the company? That's my whole thing. Scott, rather than showing me that you know about fundamentals of the plumbing, show me your pro membership. Show me you shop at GameStop and go that route. And I'm not calling you out in the sense to say I don't like you. I just don't approve of the message that's without GameStop fundamentals. That's just me. And hey, I'm not for everybody. I promise you. But these guys want to come out and put that information in front of you. Here's the problem, Scott. Okay, I'm not ashamed to say this, and I won't tiptoe around it because I'm going to attack Camelot next. Don't worry. But I won't play videos and I won't play clips of the interview only because I don't want YouTube coming after me. This is already a dark place. All right. Talking about GameStop every day, making videos, I promise you, it's not the way to run your YouTube career. No one's going to give you extra views. No one's going to get out there. You're not going to make a living off this damn thing. But I will tell you this. You're going to get some great information. That college level education that you need to actually understand the investment, well, guess what? You're going to get that tenfold when you hang out with us. So I would just tell you this, Scott. You can push out all the information you want about DRSing, but start talking about the company itself and where they're headed and what they planned. But I don't trust Houston Wade. And the fact that you were a moderator on his show at one point and you guys get together and you guys have the same verbiage. I don't know if you even hear yourself, where you try to validate your intelligence based off of the words used and the phrasing used. Well, for me, I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy. I'm a plus and minus kind of guy. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I don't need it. You can name drop everything you want. You can say all the things you want. You can't confuse me. You can't try to trick me. And I'm not saying you're trying to do that, but you have the same delivery as Houston, and I won't take it. Not a fake professor and not a fake finance guy from you. So I'm out here, guys. I'll call out everyone and everything, and I could lose subscribers for it, lose views. I don't care. I don't, because I know it's real and I know it's right. The fundamentals of GameStop are one thing that's going to trigger everything you want in this world, but that company won't exist. It's kind of like saying you want a business to be great, right? You want the company to have great margins on products. You want the building to look immaculate, but you have zero shopping carts and you have zero people pushing them. Like, that doesn't matter. The fundamentals of the markets or the financial plumbing and the manipulation of GameStop stock does not matter. FTDs don't matter. The whole damn DRS does not matter if you're not shopping at the store. You got to go shop at the store. You got to help the fundamentals of the company to do what it does. I'm not trying to manipulate anyone into doing. I'm just letting you know the fruits of this labor is shop at the goddamn store. Give it what it needs. And what does it need? It needs your respect. It needs your love. That's it. That's why I exist, or that's why I have a channel and I tell you what's going on with the stock. Just so you guys know what the hell's going on. But for anyone out there trying to jump in front of it and I am the to all and be all of whatever information they're giving, good luck, man. You can't fool me. Shop there. Don't just talk the goddamn stock market. It's not just about investing. It's, do you believe in it? The product, the people, the brand. I don't just wear it. I live it. All right. I'm done with that part. That's my little rant there. The next thing we're going to go over is Camelot. Now, if you guys know Camelot here, he's a shirtless dude constantly trying to bash GameStop. Camelot, oh my goodness, where do I start? Well, this young man has been bashing GameStop for the last 8 years. He's a disgruntled employee. His content is to take a Reddit post and comment on that. I don't know how that gives you credibility. I don't know who's posting the Reddit post. I don't know if it's you yourself, Camelot, but there's other disgruntled employees apparently posting nameless topics and quotes. And of course, he comes out and says, oh, GameStop's going bankrupt. Well, earth to you, Camelot. You've been saying that for 10 years. It's not going bankrupt. It's still not bankrupt. And in the history of the stock market, the history of finance, there's never been a company to go bankrupt with zero long-term corporate debt, period. They don't borrow money. They don't have covenants. They don't have bondholders. No one owns this company but the people themselves, right? The owner himself, right? Which would be Ryan Cohen. He owns a good portion of this company. But I'm just telling you, your math is wrong. Your reasoning is wrong. But hey, we'll live to see another day. I'll still be here 10 years later when you're wrong and I'm right. We'll put it that way. So disgruntled employees is one thing, but to come out and say that they cut benefits and that means that GameStop's going to be unprofitable, they're not going to be here next year, they're going bankrupt, that's just ridiculous. I don't even think you understand what $1.2 billion is. And they can still borrow an additional 400. So you tell me they'll have 1.6, 1.7 billion if they needed it. They have the ability to sell off shares if they had to and get equity from the people, the public on a public offering. They have so many ways to fight back against what you say is going to happen. It's never going to happen. And I'll be the guy to tell you that. I'll make every video to tell you you're wrong. But Camelot, GameStop's not going bankrupt. It's not even close. It's not going to happen. It's not about margins. It's not about the trend of digital versus physical media. It has nothing to do with that. It's just sheer math. You're wrong. You're going to be wrong. In a year like the last previous year, they were, this inflationary number is one thing, right? CPI data comes out, inflation is dropping. We're down around 3.2, 3.8% across the board. And the Fed's not going to have to raise rates, apparently. That's what people think. So what happens? The stock pumps, right? The whole market pumps. You see Costco today, almost $600, $5.99 intra-year high. You're going to look at GameStop, pumping up just enough, but not pumping up the way it should. They're being held down. And why are they being held down? Well, I'll let you figure that part out. But the market's going to pump. And is it a real pump? Probably not. Is this really the ease or the dovish sense that the Fed doesn't have to raise rates? Well, when are they going to start lowering rates? When are people going to lose their jobs because we just raised rates at the highest rate ever? I didn't see enough. I didn't see enough people get laid off. I didn't see foreclosed homes. I didn't see repoed cars. I didn't see anything. I just saw pump and dump, pump and dump. So is this the next pump for the next dump? I don't know. But I do know this. You're wrong. Is that fair? I don't need to know the whole market. I don't need to know every sector. I just have to know that GameStop fundamentally is sound. The balance sheet tells me that. The trailing 12 is going to show you an increase on the positive. They're going to run a whole year in the positive during inflationary times against inflationary numbers. How? Why would it happen that way? Well, like I told you, when you eat, sleep, and breathe it, it shows. Even on the balance sheet, even on the bottom line. You'll figure it out. We're going to be in the black, guys. We won't be in the red. That's the truth. Video's not that long. It's only about 10 minutes. But hey, why am I not going live? Okay. Well, I'm balancing my life, guys. For all of you guys who've been watching this show for 2.5 years, almost 3 years now, there's almost like 9,000 of you that get to watch the channel from time to time. And I would just tell you guys, you lived with me this whole time. I've introduced my family to you, and if you guys don't remember, a long, long time ago, my little dog named Jax, a little homie, Jax has been with me since my daughter was 12, and she's going to be 25 next month. So Jax passed away last night on my birthday. It was a big deal for the family. And the reason why it's a big deal, it's not that it's so trivial to say, we haven't lost loved ones, family members, grandparents. You probably lost, your family as well. I'm just telling you that it's the circle of life. It's actually happening. You're living here in real time with GameStop, and things are falling around you. People are getting caught into bad things. You might be financially getting strapped here and there. But if you've learned to live diamond hand or within your means, and you're doing things the right way, you have that integrity to do the right thing when no one's watching, it's just a way of life. That's it. Shout out to Jax, my little homie. I tell you, I had the best day ever yesterday, in a sense, because he got up and he ran when he saw my daughter. He got really excited, and no matter how sick he was, he jumped up and he just was like happy to see her. And that was the lasting image that I'll always remember. So shout out to him. Shout out to my daughter. I know she's hurting. And, special shout out to my son. My son called me on my birthday, and I'm happy because he's doing really well in life. That made me feel good. It's just something about it. I don't worry about my other daughters. I don't worry about my other son. Just my oldest kid, man. I just tell you this because I don't have to tell you any of this, guys. I don't have to tell you anything. I have to tell you what I do for a living, what I do during my day. But I want to tell you because I want to tell you I'm just like you. I shop, I work, I go to bed, rinse and repeat. And in between, I game. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop. GameStop. I'll see you around, millionaires. Pretty soon, I hope. Peace.